That contract, just to be clear.
Why don't you shut up?
But just to be clear about
Listen, video boy.
No, but the contract.
Yeah, just shut up, video boy.
But I'm just.
Nobody.
But John,
John Fury wasn't in Tyson Fury's corner this time. Instead, he was seated far back in the crowd, watching from a distance. Even so, it didn't change the outcome. Tyson Fury faced yet another defeat at the hands of Oleksandr Usyk. The judges delivered a unanimous decision in favor of Usyk, who remains undefeated, proving his dominance once again. For a while, many believed John Fury's absence was the key issue, but this result made one thing clear: it wasn't about John Fury at all. Oleksandr Usyk simply seems to have Tyson Fury's number, no matter the circumstances. In the aftermath, it became clear that Tyson Fury's struggles weren't just about John Fury's presence or distraction during the first fight. This time, with John seated far from the ring, the result was exactly the same: a loss to Oleksandr Usyk. For John Fury, this was a bitter pill to swallow. He had plenty of reasons to be frustrated, especially since his absence disproved the idea that he was to blame for his son's earlier defeat. The drama didn't stop there. John Fury had scored the fight in Tyson's favor, much like the commentators on the night, but his take clashed sharply with the broader opinion of fans and experts who saw this second bout as an even clearer victory for Usyk than the first. This fight felt easier for Oleksandr Usyk compared to their first encounter, but not easy enough to call it a walk in the park. Meanwhile, John Fury, seated in the crowd, was convinced the judges had gotten it wrong yet again, marking the second time this year he felt Tyson Fury was robbed. Usyk's unanimous decision victory left the Fury camp in disbelief. Once the fight ended and Tyson wrapped up his in-ring interview, John Fury and the rest of the team gathered backstage, clearly frustrated. "What do you think?" John exclaimed, his emotions spilling over. "I thought he had it. I swear, by 3 rounds, no question his raw frustration was evident, but the result on the scorecards told a very different story." The frustration in the air was palpable, but one voice rose above the rest: John Fury's. He couldn't contain his anger, loudly ranting about the supposed unfairness of the Saudi boxing system. His frustration quickly turned into a passionate defense of Tyson Fury, emphasizing the immense sacrifices his son had made to prepare for this fight, only to face the same crushing outcome. According to John, Tyson had been outright robbed, and he believed the gap wasn't even close. Tyson himself seemed to share the sentiment, confidently raising his hands in victory while the judges prepared to announce the winner. But when the decision came, it was another unanimous nod to Oleksandr Usyk, leaving the Fury camp stunned and seething. For much of the boxing world, the blame didn't rest with the judges but with Tyson Fury himself. Many believed he did more harm than good by stepping into the ring too heavy, sacrificing speed and agility in a fight that demanded precision. Back in the UK, John Fury fiercely defended his son, lashing out at critics. "People doubted my son," he roared. "I'm telling you, every TV company needs sacking come Monday morning. They don't know a thing." But deep down, even some Fury supporters knew the truth. Oleksandr Usyk isn't Deontay Wilder, and he's certainly no Derek Chisora. He's a different breed, a master technician with footwork, athleticism, and boxing IQ that demand a whole new level of preparation. An overweight body wasn't enough to dominate Usyk in the first fight, and it wouldn't be enough to dethrone him in a rematch. The technical edge was clearly with Usyk, while Tyson Fury's decision to carry extra weight seemed to hurt him more than help. The added pounds slowed him down, leaving him less agile and unable to counter Usyk's punches as quickly as he should have. Every strike from Usyk seemed to land with double the force, leaving Fury fatigued and struggling to keep up. Despite this, John Fury refused to accept the loss, sticking to the belief that his son had been cheated. His frustration grew, with some even suggesting that the ongoing war in Ukraine was somehow influencing the judges' decisions in Usyk's favor. But once again, Oleksandr Usyk proved his skill, overcoming Tyson Fury and leaving no doubt that he was the superior fighter on the night. Tyson Fury's decision to step into the ring for what could be the final chapter of his long-running feud with Oleksandr Usyk resulted in a tightly contested and skillful battle. Both fighters showcased their intelligence and technical abilities, but by the end it seemed Usyk had done just enough to secure the win. Despite the close nature of the fight, the judges declared him the comprehensive winner. As for John Fury, he remained uncertain about his plans for the following night. "I'm not sure if I'll be there tomorrow night," he hesitated. "I haven't really spoken to him yet, to be honest. I presume so, but we'll see tomorrow." "Yeah, we'll see tomorrow." Meanwhile, the judges Geraldo Martinez, Ignacio Robles, and Patrick Moley scored the bout in Usyk's favor, confirming the Ukrainian's victory. The final scorecards reflected the closely contested nature of the fight: 1-1-6-1-1-2 for Usyk, who retained his WBA, WBC, and WBO heavyweight titles with a hard-fought victory. While it wasn't as spectacular as some had hoped, the bout was still a gripping display of boxing intelligence and resilience. There were no dramatic moments of jeopardy or any periods of clear dominance from either side. After the fight, promoter Frank Warren pointed out that many of the rounds had been scored differently by the judges, with no obvious winner emerging in several of the exchanges. The fight unfolded in front of a star-studded crowd at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, including the likes of Ronnie O'Sullivan, Jason Statham, Lennox Lewis, Oscar de la Hoya, and Roberto. As the fighters made their way to the ring, the atmosphere was electric. Fury entered first with Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas playing before transitioning to the notorious B.I.G. Hypnotize. It was an entrance that set the tone for a highly anticipated clash. Fury reflected on the previous two encounters, saying, "I felt like I won both fights, and even this Australian lad thought I won them too. I don't know what I've got to do. Well, obviously I know knock him out to get the decision, but that's boxing and it happens." Despite the frustration, Fury acknowledged the sport's unpredictability. On the other side, Usyk arrived with a sense of calm. Upon reaching his corner, he knelt and offered a prayer, ready for the battle ahead. The scene was set for a historic showdown in the heart of Saudi Arabia. The atmosphere was charged as the Arabian national anthem echoed through the arena, followed by Fury shadowboxing to God Save the King a choir, then sang Ukraine's anthem with Usyk standing stoically, his hand over his heart, singing along almost as if in a trance. Meanwhile, Fury attempted to engage Usyk during the pre-fight instructions, but Usyk remained focused, staring right through him. When the bell rang, Fury wasted no time, quickly emerging from his corner and trying to establish his jab. Usyk, ever the calm counterpuncher, parried Fury's attacks and looked for opportunities to strike back. Fury, eager to land, followed a few jabs with right hands, but at one point, he swung a right to Usyk's body only to miss entirely. In a tense opening round, Tyson Fury was focused on finding his rhythm, but his trainer, Sugar Hill Stewart, kept his mind sharp. "You're boxing well," Stewart reassured him, "but Usyk is looking to catch you on the way out." Fury nodded, acknowledging the challenge ahead. After the fight, however, he remained philosophical. "I won the fight, and that's it. We can't cry over it," Fury said. "The fans, especially the British fans back home, are calling it a massive robbery, but what can you do? You get paid, you get laid, and that's it. Then you go home." Meanwhile, Usyk continued to work away at Fury's body, prodding at his opponent's noticeably heavier frame, a stark contrast to the lighter Fury of previous bouts. In the first fight back in May, Usyk kept Tyson Fury occupied with his constant hand movement and relentless footwork. But towards the end of the round, Fury managed to land a solid right hand, catching Usyk off guard. "You don't have to load up," Andy Lee advised Fury in the corner. "You hurt him with that right hand." There wasn't much separating the two fighters in the third round, although Usyk's work rate seemed to give him the edge. Still, Fury's jab was eye-catching and landed cleanly. In the fourth, Usyk connected with a sharp overhand left, while Fury briefly switched to a southpaw stance as the fight progressed, looking for ways to break through his opponent's rhythm. In his orthodox stance, Fury landed a right hand, something he's done countless times before. "We're on for a nice Christmas at the Fury house," he said with a grin. "Thank God we're both out of the ring in one piece in the mighty name of Jesus. All the glory to God." Fury appeared deceptively fit and slick in the ring, moving with surprising agility. In the fifth round, he landed a clean uppercut, one that made the crowd collectively gasp. Fury pressed forward, determined, crashing a powerful right hand into Usyk, keeping up the pressure and looking for his opening. Fury, sensing his opportunity, landed the same right hand again moments later. Usyk responded with two left hooks to the body, but it was clear that round 5 belonged to Fury, marking his most dominant performance of the fight up until that point. In the corner, Stewart urged the Sixer former champion to stay focused, reminding him to slow the pace, keep his hands up, and always be moving. Usyk continued to stay active, landing pesky shots and combinations through the sixth. Then, with 30 seconds left in the round, he landed a heavy, arcing left hand that shook Fury, definitely the biggest shot of the fight so far. The pace of the fight began to slow in the second half of the round as both men settled into a rhythm. In the 7th round, both fighters seemed to be waiting for their second wind. Fury tried to respond immediately with a right hand after Usyk's left. "My opponent, Tyson Fury, make me strong," Usyk said, showing his resilience. In the corner, Russ Amber worked on Usyk's swelling left cheek, trying to keep him in peak condition. As the 8th round began, promoter Frank Warren applauded Fury for a sharp uppercut. But the action was momentarily halted after a head clash midway through the round. Thankfully, neither fighter was seriously hurt or left bloodied. Usyk quickly resumed, landing a solid body shot before switching his attack upstairs, while Fury's output began to slow, with Usyk capitalizing on the shift in momentum. Before the fight, Fury had promised not to let Usyk control the pace, and Sugar Hill Stewart reinforced that plan. "Go forward," he urged. "You're only getting tagged when you're on the back foot. Back him up." Fury's determination was evident, especially in the 9th round, which had been full of dramatic moments in their first encounter. Fury had been hurt but somehow managed to survive a crisis more than once. Tonight, as the challenger, Fury threw a right hand and made Usyk stumble slightly, showing his resilience. The question lingered whether the heavier Fury still had the stamina to keep pushing forward. His punch and hold tactics, while unconventional, helped to disrupt Usyk's rhythm and buy him crucial moments to recover. Usyk acknowledged Fury's strength, noting that while he wasn't breathing heavily between rounds, the big man was a tough opponent. Despite the heavy exchanges, Tyson's conditioning and experience were undeniable. Fury landed a solid right to Usyk's body, followed by another right to the head, and then tried to tie up the Ukrainian, pushing him back. The tactic was meant to drain Usyk, but there was no sign of the Ukrainian slowing down. Fury, unafraid to use his size, leaned on Usyk, trying to smother him and contain the former champion. It was a battle of will, and despite the pressure, Usyk remained composed, continuing to fight with intensity. Usyk, the cruiserweight king, was working hard to counter Fury's imposing physique, but it proved to be a frustrating round for the champion. Fury had a small mark under his right eye, and in the corner, Stewart urged him to keep grinding and maintain his hold on the fight. This was a more calculated and conservative Fury compared to the one who fought in the thrilling May bout. He was methodical, pacing himself and at times managing to disrupt Usyk's usual rhythm, stifling his familiar flow. "I respect Fury," Usyk said, acknowledging the challenge. The 24th round, like many before it, had already become a piece of history in this battle. As Raheem caught up with the fighters in the corner, the energy was palpable, with both fighters pushing towards their limits. Frank Warren described the decision as a Christmas gift from the judges, but there was no denying the intensity of the fight. Usyk delivered a thunderous left hand in the 11th that ricocheted off Fury's bald head, followed by two more clean, precise shots as the round came to a close. "There's no tomorrow," Stewart urged Fury with urgency. "This fight's too damn close, give it everything you've got." The tension in the final round was palpable. Both fighters had their moments, and the 12th round was as gripping and captivating as the rest of the fight, with each boxer digging deep. As the bell rang, it was clear that this contest had kept everyone on edge until the very end. Neither fighter had truly dominated, but as the bell rang, Fury celebrated, his fists raised in triumph. Meanwhile, Usyk sank to his knees in prayer, clearly in deep reflection. The result was now in the hands of the judges, and the tension in the arena was thick. As the scorecards were read, Fury's corner removed his gloves, and the weight of the moment hung heavily in the air. It was a close contest, too close to call, and Fury couldn't hide his frustration. He shook his head and shrugged, walking off as the verdict was delivered. "I swear to God, I thought I won it by at least 3 rounds," the 36-year-old Gypsy King vented, his voice filled with anger as he made his way back to the locker room. Usyk, still in the ring, remained stoic, his thoughts unknown as he awaited questions about his hard-fought victory. As the scorecards were read, confirming his victory, Usyk, still processing the win, humbly said, "I win, it's good, but it's not my deal. Thank you, God." However, his celebration was suddenly interrupted by Daniel Dubois, who barged into the moment. Fresh off his own victory, Dubois, who had captured the IBF title in June by defeating Filip Hrgovic, demanded a rematch with Usyk. The Ukrainian had just triumphed in a long-awaited rematch against Tyson Fury, securing a unanimous decision win with a scorecard of 1-1-6-1-1-2, successfully defending his heavyweight titles in Riyadh. But Dubois was ready to shift the spotlight, signaling that his own journey toward the top was far from over. As Usyk stood in the ring, soaking in the atmosphere of his hard-fought victory, Daniel Dubois stormed in, grabbing the microphone with determination. "I want my revenge. I want my revenge," he declared, his voice filled with urgency. "Well done on tonight, well done, God bless. But I want my revenge for the robbery last time. Let's get it. Let's go. Where's Frank? Make it happen." Dubois, who had faced Usyk in August 2023 in Poland and suffered a brutal stoppage in the 9th round, was not letting the moment slip by without demanding a chance for redemption. Usyk, visibly taken aback, responded calmly, "Okay, I'm trying, you're trying, Daniel, 1 second. Let him have his moment, Daniel." In their previous encounter, the 5th round saw Dubois land a punch on Usyk's belt line, sending the Ukrainian to the canvas. The punch was ruled a low blow, and after receiving 4 minutes to recover, Usyk drew on his superior experience and determination to beat Dubois into submission. When asked about a potential rematch with Dubois, Usyk simply said, "Yeah, no problem. I'm ready for the next fight. No problem. Now I want to go back home, get a little bit of rest, and I'm ready. Your Excellency, make me fight with Daniel Dubois." Before Dubois had his interruption, Usyk was reflecting on his victory and sharing his thoughts on his next steps in the boxing world. Usyk's victory over Fury was confirmed by the judges' scorecard with a unanimous decision of 1-1-6-1-1-2. "I win, it's good," Usyk said in the ring. "I'm not a judge, I'm a sportsman, I'm an athlete. It's not my deal, I won, thank God." When asked how he continues to improve, especially as he approaches his 38th birthday, Usyk joked, "I don't know, maybe I am training well, preparing well, and my wife helps me." Despite his triumph, he quickly turned his attention to the future, declaring, "I want my revenge." After praising his performance, Usyk added, "Well done on tonight, well done on tonight, God bless. It's a very happy day. My sons won competitions too. In judo, my son said to me, 'Hey Papa, you're next.' I replied, 'Okay, I'll try speaking about Tyson Fury.' Usyk said, 'He is a great fighter, a great opponent. Unbelievable 24 rounds for my career. Thank you so much.' While speaking in Ukrainian, he added, "I want to devote this victory to my mother. She's always worrying about me, and I want to say to her, thank you very much for everything you've done for me. I give all this to her." Mothers of Ukraine, and that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.